Seawolf here. Another day of Ron talking to himself in the car. RPGaDay number 22. What RPG do I find easiest to run? This is going to be a multi-answer question. I have two systems that I find easy to run. The reasons I find game systems easy to run is there's a balance between the game system and its flexibility. I like a little structure, and the restrictions and structure within a RPG comes from the game system. But I also like a system that allows me the flexibility to improv when I need to, and that means it has a understandable and clear paradigm. I guess that's the term. In other words, just a common theme throughout the rule system that you can understand. You understand the scaling. You understand the how to make things difficult and how to make things easy and fair. Once you grasp the paradigm, you can easily improv when you need to. Now, I don't like to improv all the time. I like to have a structured story arc with a few key encounters, but at the same time, I like a little flexibility because on the fly, the players or the story or something else is going to inspire me, and I'm going to throw something else in there. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I stick straight with the structure that is either in the adventure or that I had planned. And I do plan a little bit of structure ahead of time. Most of the time, it's just story structure, encounter structure, and if I really, really need the stats, I'll make some stats up prior to it or find a way to get them. To keep it fair. Always end up finding out, not always, I commonly find out that I underpower my monsters, and recently I've especially in this most recent sort of improv that I did, I cranked them up a little bit more than I probably should have, and it proved to be rather challenging, but I didn't kill anybody, so my judgment was right now. But I digress. The two systems that I'm going to mention today I've mentioned before in this series because I find them easy to run. I'll make a honorable mention afterwards. First and foremost, I find Call of Cthulhu easy. It is an amazing system, especially in the new system. Now, the new system, 7th edition, has added a few new rules that create more game in the game. That's the best way I can describe it. But it follows the paradigm pretty tightly. It stays within the spirit of the game, the original system. I admire the hard work that these guys did. Mike Mason, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the guy's name. Maybe I'll edit his name in later. But there's two main reasons Call of Cthulhu is easy, and one is the rule system, and I understand the paradigm. It's just straightforward percentile. It's hard to screw that up. But also I feel like I get H.P. Lovecraft horror. So from a story and setting point of view, I also grasp it pretty well. So, in a sense that, in this case, it's not only the system, but you get the themes. You get the, you don't bring in dungeon crawls to Call of Cthulhu. No, you bring in mind-twisting ideas that just make the player themselves shiver. I love it, especially on a good night when I have some good role players over for a one shot, and we set some candles out, make sure everybody's had their coffee, and we create this environment. We've done this before, and it just had candles and sound effects, and it's incredible. It's so easy, and I think I mentioned this before in another video, that I ran a couple of dual GM games where the GM had 4 or 5 players, and I had 4 or 5 players, and both sides were investigating the same encounter, or the same story from different angles, and eventually came together. We killed a couple and got them down to a manageable group. But and it's because the game system is so easy. Now, that was in 3rd or 4th edition, but there's very little differences between 2nd through 6th. The second system that I found easy to run is D6 from West End Games. I ran mostly D6 Star Wars, but I've done other D6 as well. When they decided to make it a generic system, I played around with several different settings. D6 does have its flaws, but D6 is really, really good for one shots. It's really, really fun, and its paradigm is just very clear and understandable, and you can bring in a newbie pretty quick, and they're off running and having a blast. I don't recommend D6 beyond one shot or maybe 3 sessions, because it breaks down after a while. But it's now available on Open Game License, and you can download all the books for free. And I'm actually writing a version of D6 that kind of streamlines it and makes it a little more sustainable in a long-term campaign. It is a fun system, and it's again, the paradigm I get is you understand the scale pretty easy, so coming up with numbers on the fly is pretty straightforward. I highly recommend it for those that are just looking for a simple system. Now, honorable mentions, obviously Savage Worlds is going to come up. I still am working on running that, because there are some subtle intricacies within the game system that I struggle with, so I don't find that easy yet. But it is probably one of the most consistent paradigms in the game industry. And it's scalable, and you understand it. And I love the system. I need to run it some more to get comfortable. But the most recent game I've been running is Fantasy Age, and I'm finding that game system to be fairly easy to run. And now Green Ronin has announced a science fiction end of it, with the Expanse role-playing game. You have no idea how much I love the Expanse. I'm reading the books now. I am all over that. But Fantasy Age has a D6 feel to it, except it has its own little mechanic for stunts, which are a lot more fun. Now, if I wish I had some alternate stunt tables, because stunts are starting to get kind of old. We're just overly used to them. I think that there needs to be alternate stunts available. But far as running that system, I'm really grasping and starting to get into how the scale works. That's the system I ran that I mentioned earlier that I nearly killed in just half the party. With a more or less improv major encounter, all I did was craft a terrain that was massive out of cardboard. And then I just came up with the idea for a short side adventure centered around this fortress that I'm in. And I did a little bit of prep work ahead of time, but a lot of the numbers I improv'd, I finally have grasped. I feel like I've grasped the scale of that system to challenge the players when I need to, or just to let them have fun. So that's about it. I hope that was at least somewhat insightful. All those systems are fun to play. I recommend them. The next one is one I don't know if I can answer. Which RPG has the most jaw-dropping layout? I don't know if I can answer that. I don't have... I've already mentioned one that had amazing art, and that too had great layout, but because I didn't play it. Layout is important for me in that it's easy to find stuff, and that's about it. Other than that, until next time, seek the wolf in thyself.